Good morning, lovelies. Good morning, good morning. From the Qur'an today, and I perhaps will be on here later to get a little bit deeper into 2nd Chronicles. But without further ado, let's go ahead and begin and see what today has in store for us. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful. Okay, great. So really, my thumb is on line 64, and it was guided also towards line 65. And since line 64 is very short, I'll read them both. And this is from Surah 22, Al-Hajj, which means the pilgrimage. And we have many Islamic members making Al-Hajj every year to Mecca and to go see the Kaaba. So they're making this Hajj, this pilgrimage, every year. And it is especially important during certain months of the year. But when I hear Hajj or when I hear pilgrimage, that is what I think of. People also make excuse me, pilgrimages to Israel at any time of the year. Alright, so this is Surah 22. We're going to do line 64. Absolutely no coffee this morning, you guys. So we'll see how that goes today. Trying to simmer things down today. Alright. Line 64 reads, "To him belongs all that is in the heavens and on earth. For verily, Allah is free of all wants, worthy of all praise." I'm going to write this one, because then we enter into another section after this. Heavens and on earth. Okay, I have this one loving to just walk right across the computer. She thinks it's her favorite shortcut. Trying not to get lost here. Okay, so just taking a quick look at this one here. For verily, right, means emphasis, right? Please listen. For verily, Allah is free of all wants, worthy of all praise. So when you're existing in the heavenly realms, you are free of any kind of desire and want. So imagine then how different that life is, that eternal life is, compared to our life on earth, being free of all wants. And since Allah is existing in the heavenly realms, He is free with a capital F of all wants. Equally so, what makes Him a little bit different from us, He is worthy of all praise. All praise. All the praise and all the honor and all the glory that you could ever imagine. He is completely worthy of that. And we'd like to reach that point too. But there is none like the praise and the worship of Allah, truthfully. And we have to get there before we can get anywhere else. Because He is the grantor of life, not only on earth. We have life here on earth, but also in the heavenly realms. He is the grantor. He is the one that allows access into the heavenly realms. So, of course, worthy of all praise. And obviously, with what I was saying, the first portion goes along well. To Him belongs all that is in the heavens and on earth, what I had just stated. So sometimes it helps to kind of work these lines backwards. Look at the main point, see what you can get out of the main point. What separates us, although we can exist in the heavenly realms, what separates us from Allah and us, who we are, right, existing here. He's worthy of all the praise. And once we reach that heavenly status, okay, we are also free of all of our wants and desires. They truly become extinguished. They dissipate, they disappear. We have no desire, we have no want for really anything besides Allah, and what has been granted to us surpasses all our previous desires and wants and needs. So how beautiful is that? Reading along to section 9, line 65, it says, "Seest thou not that Allah has made subject to you men all that is on the earth, and the ships that sail across the sea by his command? He withholds the sky rain from falling on the earth except by his leave, for Allah is most kind and most merciful to men." Alright, so it may seem a little bit juxtaposing to our recent storms that we had. I know I've seen some flooding. I have most definitely seen some flooding and some torn up interiors, really due to the flooding. So I don't want to say that those individuals are at fault. Of course, why would we want to blame the individual? But we can also respect the patterns of weather, right? And know that everything has its course. Everything runs its course, and everything is due in time. We can think with a broader perspective, like everything does happen for a reason, and it is truly by his leave, by Allah's leave. So sometimes things just need to run their course. Sometimes there are pushes needed. Sometimes there are set times for everything, or all the time. There are set times for everything. There are set processes for everything that we may not have the entire understanding of, okay? But what do we have? We have our free will, right? We have our free will to go ahead and exercise our decision making when it is required. And like I said, maybe these times they push for a little bit more of that decision making, and maybe they help guide you towards one way or the other when it comes to making decisions, when it comes to moving, when it comes to just transitioning in life, truly. It definitely helps guide us, because the thing that we have to remember is Allah is the most kind and most merciful to man. So that's really what we have to remember, despite all the chaos that we may witness. He measures every action, and he measures every event that takes place for the greater good. Okay, he would not allow something to happen if it was not for the greater good in one way or the next way or the other way. Everything is meticulously measured and observed, and it's hard to put myself in his perspective, but meticulously measured and analyzed is a good word. Analyzed from his perspective. So things take place for the greater good of all man. So something to remember when we do come across hardship, just know that it is due to the care. Other things need to carry out. Things need to move along. That's the best way I can describe it. It's one of those tricky topics to go ahead and explain and describe. we talk about, right? To Allah belongs all that is in the heavens and all that is in the earth. So as we belong to Him, it also is stated here that Allah has made subject to you men all that is on earth. So He is giving us some level of authority. He is giving us some level of control. That's where that decision making comes in. We have free will, we have decision making capabilities. Oh my goodness. The way they slam on this floor, it sounds very loud. I don't know if you can hear that, but goodness. Now let me just put this down here. So I'll make this title kind of a, see, this is what happens with no coffee. The words escape me. Excuse me, give me a second. Decision making. Passion. Decision making. Free of wants. Okay, this is good. Okay. It's kind of a, not a hypothetical, what am I trying to say? Esoterical, I guess, esoterical title. Imagine decision making free of wants. Okay, because we know Allah, who's existing in the heavenly realms, is free of wants. We know each one of us who may be also existing in the heavenly realms, either now or later, is free of wants. Okay, true, really and truly. So if Allah is making these decisions that affect us here on earth, He is doing those decision makings, or He is making those decisions without any kind of want or desire or end goal, but just knowing that He is the most kind and most merciful to us as well. So keeping that greater good concept in mind. That's the best way that I can describe it, being here and now. But there's always the big picture. He has a perspective that is unlike anything that we could even experience. Okay, so just keeping that in mind. Decision making, maybe we can incorporate that as well. Making our decisions free of any kind of desire, taking out your attachments, right? Cutting out your attachments, cutting out your wants and desires, and making decisions free from that. I know that is very hard because we often make decisions every day, all day, to try and reach, a desire or a goal or a need or a want. And that is actually what controls the majority of our decisions. So imagine trying to do that, right? Making decisions attached to no desire, no want, and just living that way. Will we even have to make decisions? Would we even have anything that comes across ourselves and something we have to decide without attached to a want or desire? I'm going to digress, alright? But that's what I have for you today. I appreciate you listening. I should be back on here today, if not tomorrow. But God bless you guys. Have a good rest of your day. Bye.